as painful as it is, as frustrating as it is, this, like, you're on the right path. Like, you're on the right path and you need to just keep going.
Welcome to the Building Business Relationships Show. I'm Matt Stone, and before we officially launch, we're exploring what matters most when it comes to relationships in business. These early episodes are about testing ideas, learning from guests, and hearing what you think belongs in the conversation. So please do listen in, share your thoughts, and help shape what this show becomes. And joining me today is the amazing, the wonderful, the brilliant Theresa Cantley. Theresa's an amazing entrepreneur and CEO whisperer. You're going to correct me if I get any of this wrong, but you've been a business owner a long time. You had you left corporate, opened this incredible retail business with a friend of yours, had that for years. You progressed into being a growth architect for CEOs and founders, especially. You help people with their growth, both the business growth and the personal growth that you need to get the business growth. How's that?
Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. I love it. Thank you.
And even more than that, because that's all great and impressive, as a human being, you're just an amazing human being. And
Thank you.
So when we met at that retreat, it was like, okay, clearly we need to do some more talking. So here we are.
Yes, we're fast friends.
What did I leave out?
I'm a 3rd degree black belt. Let's see what else. I can't cook worth anything.
Uber Eats.
No, I don't even know how to use Uber Eats. I don't think I've ever used it in my life.
If you can't cook and you can't order delivery, what do? You've got a partner who does?
That's why I have a husband.
Okay,
my husband cooks.
Great.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes. No.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, no, I hear it. I mean, I love to cook, and I would say, yeah, that's why my wife married me. But she actually can cook a few things, and she's gotten really better at different things.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I'm like, oh, look at this! Look at what she's like spreading her wings and trying different recipes, and it's cool.
No, my husband cooks. I'm not the greatest cook at all, but since he is so good, I'm like, I'm not even going to even try because I got him.
And it sounds like he loves it.
He does.
He loves it.
He does.
And what's his signature dish?
Oh my God, there's so many. Believe it or not, my husband is not Korean, but my husband makes the most amazing bulgogi. But my husband's Irish.
He's the Irish kind of Korean. Yes, Irish Korean.
He is.
I love it.
He makes this amazing. I mean, he can just get a recipe and just cook it, and it's the most amazing thing ever. But outside of that, one of the things that he makes, that it's so simple, but he makes the most amazing cheeseburgers. I love a really good cheeseburger, and he had gotten this recipe out of a Bobby Flay cookbook years ago, and perfected it. And I mean, it's amazing. So
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking forward to trying this at some point. Yes.
And he looks like Santa Claus, by the way. I don't know if I told you that. Yeah. My husband literally grows his hair out during Christmas so that he has longer hair and a longer beard. He's been silver white ever since I've known him, which is 27 years, so he looks like Santa.
I love it. And he brings the gifts. He brings the culinary gifts. I mean, that is truly the gift that cooking. The thing I love about cooking is we all have to eat, and most people enjoy eating. Not everybody, but most people do. And I always found it to be such a love language for me that if I cook for you, I mean, I think one of the earlier dates I had with my wife, I made her mango. It had a mango salsa, but it was fish tacos. We're in Hawaii.
Yum.
And I remember the look on her face when she ate these tacos, and there was this mango salsa on top, and it had this fresh mahi. And it's that look that you want to see in anybody. I mean, even just a friend, right? When you cook, it's
100%.
it's totally a love language. Yeah.
No, definitely. And it's funny because I work with a lot of restaurants, and when I work with the restaurant, I not only work with the restaurant owner, I work with the leaders in the business, particularly chefs. And I've had conversations with chefs where the reason why they do what they do is because they want to make people happy. and they want to connect with people. They're introverts, just naturally just don't like feel socially awkward, but they love to cook, and that's their way that they connect to people. So you're right, it is a love language, like across the board. It is a way to connect with people. It's a way to have a conversation. It's a way to express yourself, like all of the above. Amazing.
Okay, I'm not surprised that we're already sidetracked because you and I can
Sorry.
talk just ad
Sorry.
nauseum about anything. No, it's not your fault. It's mine. I'm pulling all these threads, but we got to get to the format of this show because we
I know.
are specific about, we're going to pivot from those relationships now to the question I'm asking everybody in this style of pre-launch content, which is tell us about a relationship that had a huge impact on your life. What you would consider a business relationship that had a huge, and by the way, it's a very liberal definition, as I've told people, because it could be a relationship that impacted your business greatly. It doesn't have to come from business.
Mm.
Um, but what's a relationship that comes to mind that's been really, high impact or transformational for you?
Well, it's funny because originally I had like three people listed, and I was telling my husband about this, and he goes, I said, "So who do you think was the most impactful in my business?" And he he looked at me and he gave me the name. The name was Rich. We'll just say that. So Rich was actually my old boss where I used to work, and he made me absolutely miserable. He was impactful. Like I absolutely cannot stand jelly donuts anymore because of something he used to say that compliments were like jelly donuts. If you eat a lot of them, you'll get sick of them. So he never used to like, I mean, he was so hard on me. I cannot stand spiral bound notebooks anymore because he used to make me do marketing projects, and he would like 50 revisions, and he would give me the revisions on pieces of paper torn out from a spiral bound. So then you had the fringes hanging off. So he made an impact on me because he showed me what it was to not be like that in leadership. And he also, like, just the way that he kind of gave me the launch that said, you know what, this is not how I want to live. I don't agree with this stuff. I want to get out of here. And that was what ended up launching me into him and all of his craziness launched me into becoming an entrepreneur in 2008. So that was one impact. But on the flip side of it, I talk about my business partner all the time, Vanessa. And Vanessa was a huge impact in my life. I met her because I worked for her husband. I was freshly divorced, 23 years old, and moved down to the city and started working for her husband. And I ended up meeting her, and we became friends. She was my first leader, the first leader that I really ever met and kind of had exposure to besides her husband. And really, she was a mentor for me. Just taught me like how to be strong, how to be like really be convicted. But the person, like, and I talk about Vanessa a lot, but when I originally looked at your question, the person that came to mind was actually her husband. And her husband, his name is Michael, and I worked for Michael. I was his assistant. And again, freshly divorced, coming into the insurance industry. And if you know anything about the insurance industry, very highly male dominated, very archaic, has a lot. I mean, it's a very different, in my opinion, it's a very different industry. And I worked for Michael, and I was faced with a lot of adversity from women who worked at the firm who wore suits, very professional. Here I am, this 23-year-old coming in, fresh out of fashion school, wearing all kinds of funky clothes. I had these funky nails, and they would say to him, and he was the vice president, and they would say, "She's never going to amount to anything. Why do you have her in this role?" And he said, because there is something about her that is different, and there's something about her that's going to make a difference in this world. And I believe in her. And he taught me everything that the beginning of what I learned about business, about leadership, about believing in people, about connection, and really like carving your own path and teaching people how to carve their own path. So I think he definitely was the one that made the most impact. And I mean, to this day, he's actually my husband's best friend. And I mean, to this day, I always joke around. I'm like, Mike, you were the best boss ever.
Did that relationship with did Michael come after Rich?
No, Michael came before
Okay.
Rich.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, so I left, and actually, when I left, because Michael had left the insurance company, and then I had left right after him, and then went to go work. I actually went to go work for Rich. So, no, Rich came after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had already had a taste of what a great supportive boss looked
Yes.
like. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when I started working for Rich, I started in customer service, kind of ground level, and worked my way up to being a director. I was a director of operations and a director of marketing. And this man was just, he was just so hard on me, like the entire time. It was like nothing I ever experienced in my life. And to this day, I think I have a little bit of PTSD from it. Which is why I know what bad leadership looks like. And that's why I can spot it a mile away,
Yeah.
and why I teach people how to be really a great leader, especially in today's world, and really teach them how to connect and make an impact on someone else's life.
Yeah.
And it was funny because when I worked for Michael, and I thought, okay, this is how things are. And then when I started working for Rich, and I was like, oh, I'm just expected to be subservient and just do what I'm told and not have an opinion. And which is insert Vanessa, because I worked with Vanessa when we both of us worked for Rich, and she was the one that really said, no, you need to use your voice. So
Yeah. And then
yeah,
that was a springboard for you two to go out
totally.
and go off and start a business together. Yes.
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. We were burned out walking through New York City at a gift show for retail stores, and she was like, "I can't go back into that office. I cannot do it." And I said, "Let's open up a store. What the heck? How hard?
How
How hard
hard
could
could
it
it be?
be?"
It's retail.
It's retail. How hard could it be? Oh, and by the way, let us just add, it's the recession. Nobody's opening up a business in 2008. Nobody wants anything to do with, businesses or real estate or any. No, what the heck? How hard could it be? And we did. We
And
did it.
you learned how hard it could be, but you actually did
We
it.
did.
And yeah.
We did.
Now, I want to just say before I get to my next series of questions, I got to see you do a talk where you talked about your partner and
Hmm.
some of that experience. Where can people see you doing talks? Where, if they like you, they're so far, they're like, wow, just Theresa's great. Which, by the way, you have good taste. Where will they be able to see more of what you're producing and what the stories you're telling?
Sure. I'm on LinkedIn primarily. So you can see me. I have a live show there every Thursday. I just give like leadership bites. So definitely on LinkedIn. You can also check me out on theresacantley.com. I have a whole speaker section that shows different types of talks that I've done. And yeah, so you can see some video there.
Cool. Okay, because you've got a lot of great stories, and I normally I would wait till the end to say this, but I wanted to get it in earlier in the video.
No, no.
When you've got more eyeballs on it, to say, hey, go check out Theresa, because you do have a lot of great stories, and they're stories that aren't just interesting, but they're useful. They're helpful.
Mm,
They're not
yeah.
just they are inspiring, but they're also something that you can use. So,
Thank you.
okay,
You'll see them in my future. I have a book coming out next year, and all of these stories, most of them, well, not all of them. Oh my God, because I have so many, they're going to be in my book. So
great,
stay tuned for that.
great. There's more to come. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so just a couple more questions because
Mhm.
these episodes are pretty short. But I'm wondering,
Yep.
those relationships that you were just talking about, where do you see them showing up in your work now when you're working with CEOs?
One of my super skills is spotting patterns with people. So I am a certified high performance coach. I did actually just get my certification in that. So I'm really good at seeing patterns, and I'm really good at seeing when someone's trying to shield themselves and put a wall up and then be something that they're not. So, my experiences and the things that I've been through, the stories that I talk about, I actually use that in my work when I see the same pattern showing up with a leader that I'm working with. When I'm teaching someone and I'm talking to them or I'm coaching, it's not coming from a book that I read or something that I learned in a course. It's actually coming from my own experience. So I take those stories, and when I see a pattern, I can match a story with the pattern that I'm seeing. Or especially like when I'm coaching a leader and they are showing up as being very, very loud, very larger than life, and you can completely see right through it. And you can see that's actually preventing them from connecting with the people that they manage. So I use it. I mean, I use it all over the place. I use it to help them to really be, and I don't want to say just be themselves, and really bring out that uniqueness that is them instead of trying to shield it with something else, trying to be what they think a leader should be and actually just be themselves so that they can have a deeper connection with their people. But yeah, I use those stories. I have so many. I have a story log. Literally, it's a book like this thick, and I have a story and an insight attached to it, and then okay, what's the pattern that goes with it? And now, I mean, I haven't memorized, so now I can pull them out pretty fast when I'm talking about something. So, again, when you work with me, it is real life experience. There's no fluff, there's no theory. I mean, I've been in the trenches with entrepreneurs, working through fires. I have a client that he had a fire in his building, had to shut the business down for almost a year, continued to pay his employees. Roof blew off. I mean, you name it. And I've helped them to navigate these things. But those are all stories that then, like, I just kind of put into the mix. Yeah.
So, how was your day? Oh, I was just putting out fires today. Oh, really? No, literally, I was putting out actual
Literally.
fires. Yes. And then the
Literally.
roof blew off.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Call my
no.
husband. I'm on the roof right now, a third story. Like I'm on the third story roof. He's like, "You're what?" Yeah. The roof blew off. I'll be home in about 3 hours.
Things are
Seriously.
really we're blowing the prices off. You know,
Exactly.
come on down to Hank's Furniture Store. Um, okay, so listen, what are we? What I really, the intention of of the show that we're working on, and
Absolutely.
it's the intention is to be the most entertaining business show we've ever seen, but actually use the entertainment value to allow us the grace to talk about difficult things too.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's like a balanced meal, if you will, right? So I guess what I want to know from you is what are we not talking about enough or in the right way that we should be, and that we should that and I'm just tying in kind of a couple questions to this that we
Sure.
really should, in your opinion, bring into the onto the table when we launch this show formally.
Yeah, so I think one thing that we kind of skirt around, especially as it relates to leaders, is just the whole internal piece of leadership. We talk a lot about what it takes externally to lead, but we don't talk about the internal piece of it. As leaders, especially, if you're in a C suite role, you own a business, we get educated away from ourselves, we get labeled away from ourselves, we get stressed away from ourselves. So what happens is we lose ourself. And then we try and be something that we're not. From a young age, we're taught to build from the outside in, not the inside out. So I don't think we talk about that enough because, when people come to me, it's always, I need more sales. I need, my team's not doing this, or, whatever it is. And everybody wants to skirt past that whole internal part of leadership. So I think, and this goes along. I mean, I work with a lot of chefs. Chefs are leaders in restaurants and they have a lot of struggles with, mental illness. And I think it's an important conversation and it's coming up, especially with what's going on in the world. What restaurants have been through in particular over the past several years, and it's an important conversation to have, and people have to be willing to have it. So I think that's a big piece, is just that internal piece of leadership and that loss of connection to self that happens along the way. And then how can we get back to that? One of the biggest things that I always tell leaders is one of the most important sentences that you can say to somebody is, I see you. Like, I see you. And really be able to hold that space, to listen and to connect and to be willing to help. So I definitely think that's for sure probably something that we need to talk about more is just, I call it the connection to self, connection to destiny, because a lot of leaders and a lot of business owners end up losing connection to that big dream that they have because of all of the stresses and things that they have to navigate on a daily basis. And I think even CEOs, with the amount of layoffs that we see and the rise in AI and trying to please shareholders, and again, you lose connection to that destiny. You lose connection to yourself and you lose connection to the true work that you need to do, which is how can we make that human experience even more important? And I think this is a huge conversation that, again, everybody just sees the vanity metrics, the vanity numbers, growth in revenue, growth in profit, and they really miss the growth in the people. So,
Thank you. And I'm excited about putting that on the table. I think one of the things is that there's a whole lot of people who don't even, they just kind of glaze
mm,
over when they hear anything around EQ or empathy or self-awareness. It's sort of this, okay, the woo-woo people over here are doing that, and I got real business to do. And I think we need to get creative with the ways that we are
hmm
making it very tangible and practical. So coming from the problem, how it's impacting you, and then reverse
yeah.
engineering back to that and go, oh,
Yeah.
it's not what I thought it was. I thought it was just a revenue problem.
Well, it's something so simple like people, I've had a lot of questions lately like, Teresa, how am I going to implement AI? Like we need to implement it in our business and we don't necessarily know how we're going to do it. But the thing that they don't realize is you have to first understand why you're implementing it and why you're implementing it, but also you need to understand your people and how it can help them. But you can't understand your people if you don't understand yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of it's more practical than people think. I mean, yeah, a lot of people think once you start talking about connection to self, they think woo woo, but really it's a lot more practical than that. It's a way to
Yeah.
keep yourself grounded so that you can really like live the life that you really want to live.
Yeah. That's right. Part of what excites me about the show is to bring in a whole bunch of different people, including you, and to collaborate around, okay, how do we present this material, this subject matter in a different way? And where someone who might previously have just thought, oh, okay, that's not for me, but then they see it in a new way and are able to laugh about it. That's really
Yeah.
important. That's important to me anyway, right?
Laughing is the best. And
Oh,
believe me, I laugh at myself every day.
right. Okay, on that note, can I get to the rapid fire questions? Because I love them.
Absolutely. I have
Okay.
my answers here.
You ready? Okay. Yeah. See, I did give them to you beforehand. I got to figure out whether we give them ahead of time. I think it's good to give them ahead of time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
for
think so?
sure.
Okay. You ready?
You'll probably ask something that's not here. Okay.
I don't know. I'm a wily coyote. You just never
Yeah,
know.
I know.
Okay. So Teresa,
Hmm.
what's your favorite breakfast food?
Caprese sandwiches,
What's your least favorite breakfast food?
cereal,
Cereal. Any particular cereal?
any cereal. I hate
Any
cereal.
cereal. You
I
hate
hate
cereal.
cereal.
Hot, cold, it doesn't matter. Don't like it.
Oh, definitely can't do hot. I can't do the texture. I'm a texture person.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Something that you absolutely must do in your lifetime that you haven't done yet.
Yeah, being an Oprah Super Soul Sunday. I don't even. I guess she still does it, but yeah, that's
You
like
want
a
to be
big
in that
thing.
garden with the microphone in the garden and
I
the
do.
interview. Yeah, with your book. Oh
I
yeah.
do with my book and
Oh
like
yeah.
the little like
Oh
the
yeah.
glowingness.
Oh, I love this. This is great. Can I come and just be your producer, like be your
Absolutely. Be
assistant?
like, this is my producer Matt here.
Yeah. So, what's a word in business that you think is overused?
Oh, authenticity. I didn't even have to think about that.
Yeah.
People talk about authenticity all the time, and there's many, many people who talk about it, and it's empty.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of bastardized words actually that get
Mm,
like the meaning gets drained out of them. Um, Yeah.
for
Okay.
sure.
Let's see. What is a word that you think is underused in business?
Presence, presence for sure. I actually presence and aliveness, I would say. Yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
All right. What's your best advice for a young entrepreneur experiencing their first real failure?
Forgive me in advance, young people who are watching this. Congratulations, you made it. Because you're going to fail many, many more times. And just remember, you just have to look at the lesson. As painful as it is, as frustrating as it is, this, like, you're on the right path. Like, you're on the right path and you need to just keep going.
Yeah, that's right. And finally, what are you most curious about right now?
Human performance, like really bridging the gap to improve the human experience that we have, that we create, really life in general, and how we can tap into like a deeper level of greatness within ourselves. Um, for sure. I've been coaching for many, many years, as I've said. But when I got certified and studying with Brendan Burchard over the years since 2015, um, like I've just gotten so mesmerized. I mean, my sister's a psychologist, just mesmerized with human performance, the untapped part of our brain, because we only use like what, 7% of our brain or something, the untapped portion of it. Like, yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious about that.
You're geeking out on greatness.
Sorry. I am.
Yes, you could call
That's
yourself.
me.
I'm the I'm the greatness geek. You know.
I am
Yeah.
the
I
greatness
want to.
geek.
Sounds like you're interested in the science of it, and like not just the heart and science of it is like I like to call it.
It's yeah, like and it's really like bridging like the woo woo with the science,
Yeah.
like bridging those two things together because I've seen like miraculous things happen that there was no explainable reason
Yeah.
how or why it did.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely like that human performance, that human connection and
Mm-hmm.
really like how can we make it even better?
There you go. All right. Now we asked you earlier, or I asked you earlier, where to find your stories. So I guess if someone wants to connect with you,
Mhm.
what should they do first? And we'll put all this in
Yeah.
the show notes, of course.
For sure. So you can find me on, like I said, on LinkedIn. Just send me a DM. I'm Theresa Cantley on LinkedIn. Or if you really have a question and you want to ask me a question, I'm always open to answer. You can just send an email to Theresa at theresacantley.com.
Perfect.
I
All
answer
right.
every single one of them.
Absolutely. Okay, so we'll put that in the show notes. So if people want to follow up directly, they can do that. Theresa,
Perfect.
thank you so much for sharing with
Thank
us today.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. This was fun. Nobody ever asked me what my favorite breakfast food was.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I
There's something
hate
about breakfast that's just
I hate
like,
breakfast food.
right. And it's polarizing. Breakfast is polarizing. So it's a perfect question.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I like chocolate chip cookies and orange juice. That's
Yeah.
polarizing.
Yeah. All right. I want to thank all of our listeners and viewers for listening and watching this pre-launch phase of the Building Business Relationship Show. And because it's pre-launch, it is, as I said, all about discovery. So we really do want to know how you're experiencing this in terms of the topics. This isn't the exact format of the show that it will be. We are exploring what topics. So if something intrigued you, sparked interest, sparked your curiosity, and you're like, I know what you should talk about. We want to hear it from you. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll know when the show officially launches. Thanks again for listening and watching, and we'll see you on the next one.